It's a chilly Sunday afternoon as I enter the Warramai Framing Gallery to meet with Rebecca Pring, otherwise known as artist Bebbie Smythe. I'm immediately and warmly welcomed by a pair of sparkling eyes and a big beaming smile that reflects a creative soul in love with life. And I'm enveloped in a sense of peace that belies the busy, thriving business that operates here. Nor does it reflect the tough journey that Beck has travelled to get here. Let's meet Rebecca Pring. Rebecca, you're also known as Beck and Bebbie Smythe. So who on earth is Bebbie Smythe?
It was a new persona that was allowed to be. I was freer, discovering that Bebbie Smythe's quite quirky and fun and free, and she has the courage to try things and not be inhibited by rules and the expectations of others and what society might dictate. It has freed me as a person, freed me as an artist, and I think it is also part of the reason why I came back to identifying as an artist, because I didn't have to be Rebecca Pring. I could be Bebbie Smythe. She's the creator of all this art.
Bebbie, how would you describe your style?
I am an abstract artist, and I love to be able to capture energetic movement of paint and the way I paint and the different processes I go through. I'm painting what I feel and capturing the light and the dark. I often feel like I'm bearing witness to the artwork and just watching it evolve, allowing it to evolve as it wishes to.
What makes you decide on the next subject to paint?
I guess it depends on what is going on in my literal world. Like walking through Blackbutt, collecting leaves, painting leaves and getting caught up in line and shape. For my big energetic abstracts, I feel like I don't necessarily choose what I'm going to paint next. I just play and just start, and then sometimes they're sitting aside for months, or it's not something that I can turn on. Like you've got to feel in the mood, or you've got to feel in the spirit of it to paint. Those kind of paintings for me is like, I feel like I'm connecting with something that's far greater than me and just pouring it out. I feel like I'm painting emotion, I guess, and just playing with colour, playing with dark and light. And as an artist, the art itself is teaching me different things, and you just keep evolving, you keep experimenting. What talks to you? Yeah.
You did art at school, so you had some training at school.
Yeah.
And you had a really supportive art teacher, didn't you?
I had a great art teacher, and we're still friends today. We still connect and catch up. And actually, when I identified as an artist and had my first art exhibition, I actually asked her to come and open it for me, which was really, really fun. Really fun, but also very momentous, because she was very much aware of my darkness and what I'd gone through mentally. And she has this beautiful ability to nurture who you are as an artist. So she's not trying to make you like her as an artist or make you like any particular artist, but just draw out of you what you're good at.
So the lack of formal tertiary qualifications hasn't impeded your journey as an artist at all?
No, I feel like I just do things intuitively, and I've had a few conversations with various people about that, and like sometimes you feel intimidated that you haven't had formal training, but other times artists say, well, you're free, you don't have to be trained to do what you're doing. I do feel very much led by intuition in the art, and I can never paint a landscape so it looks literally like the landscape, but I can paint feeling. I know that my art can move people, and I've had people buy my art because they've been moved to tears, so I feel like when that happens, my work is done.
Beck, your granny was very influential in nurturing your art from a young age. Do you have a couple of anecdotes that you can share?
Well, I spent most of my school holidays growing up with Granny and Dad. on a farm out of Gloucester, just out of Gloucester, so we'd go up there. So she was a sewer. She used to sew a lot of our clothes. She actually allowed me to use the old treadle sewing machine that was her mother's. So growing up, I learnt how to sew on that. She did a lot of needlework and embroidery over the years, and so I was always influenced by just the making something, you know, sewing on this treadle machine. And she'd tell me lots of stories about her parents, so her mother. So it was kind of like this real nice generational connection. Yeah, so I just had this kinship with Granny. She influenced me in a lot of ways of just connection to spirit, unconditional love, I guess, and making stuff. Yeah.
And your mum is also a very creative. She's an artist in fabric.
Yeah.
So she must have influenced you somehow as well.
I think of both my parents, mum and dad, as artists in their own right. So dad with glass, mum with fabric.
Yeah.
And always have loved art and craft ever since I can remember. Loved art throughout school and high school. Was always happy to do a school assignment if it included some sort of arty thing, and I always did better when it was like that rather than intellectual side. So I guess you're looking back and you think, well, there's definite influences of creativity, but I didn't actually identify as an artist until my early 40s. Yeah.
Can you describe your inspiration for and explain the triptych three pieces?
My self-portraits?
Yes.
Yeah. The first one's the obvious dark. I was deep in depression and I had taken a selfie on my phone, and it was part of a realisation of another episode of it. By taking that selfie and looking at my own eyes and seeing the darkness and feeling the hopelessness in that time, I realised I had to go to the doctor again and get help. I wanted to pull apart, kind of look at the darkness in the eye so that it took the fear away from it. The second self-portrait that I took, the pink one, I took a selfie, and it's completely different, obviously, but I had actually come to the realisation that I had to identify as an artist, and I was finding colour again in my life. So literally, so that's interpreted through that self-portrait, representing the darkness and then coming into light and discovering colour and play, and not take yourself so serious and just allow it to be. So then I've just recently finished the third one that I feel like represents me today and who I am as an artist. Exploring what I want to paint in my big energetic abstracts, and also seeing myself as part of the universe and that we're all interconnected. We're all part of this massive big universe that's so much greater than we are, yet we can be a part of it.
Your journey has been quite extraordinary, Beck, when you think back 10, 20 years ago and you think where you came from and where you're at now, because you're a successful businesswoman. Your business is going gangbusters. You're coming up to 2 exhibitions, so your art is going gangbusters. You're employing other people. Mm-hmm. You're a winner, mate. Your journey has been extraordinary.
It's been a journey, but I'm so happy to be at this part of the journey because it's been very costly and exhausting, but it's absolutely worth it. Now I get the joy and the privilege of creating a community within this business, even building a team of people, of like-minded people that want to be a part of something that's creative and bigger than themselves. Grateful for the community that enables my 2 businesses to reside alongside each other.
That supports you.
Yeah. It's a huge privilege to be able to to do my two greatest loves in life, to be able to create art, stuff that gives me relief and relaxation, and then other stuff that allows me to connect with my more divine being.